What's up, guys? I'm on my way to go teach some private lessons, and I wanted to share some thoughts I had about Bruce Lee and his purpose in training, because Bruce Lee's purpose in training continued to change as he evolved and changed. And I think it's important to allow our purpose and our goals to change with time. If you look at Bruce Lee, he started training Wing Chun Kung Fu when he was 13 years old as a result of getting jumped. He didn't have his gang around him, so they beat the crap out of him. And so his primary goal was to learn how to fight, to learn how to defend himself if he was ever in a situation like that again. It wasn't about bettering himself or learning to express himself. It was about fighting, scientific street fighting, as he would call it. And then he moved to America. He started going to college. He started to major in philosophy. And that's where you see him go from being sort of this hoodlum, this gangster, to being a more thoughtful, philosophical person focused more on his own self-development as a human being, on self-growth, both physically and mentally. So you see him start weight training and developing his body and reading and developing his mind. And that's where he starts talking about martial arts being a tool to kill the ego, and the importance of martial arts to him having a self-development aspect. And then towards the end of Bruce Lee's life, as he started to become a more self-actualized human being and a superstar, and was really putting his art out there into the world, it started to change to more talk about self-expression, that martial arts was ultimately about self-expression to him. So those are three distinct periods in his life when it was all about self-defense, self-preservation, fighting. Then when it became more about self-development, and then towards the end of his life, it became about self-expression. And the reason why I like to point this out is because I think martial arts should evolve with us as well. For example, in my own life, I got into martial arts because, well, I don't exactly know, because I always loved it. I was always obsessed with martial arts. But I do know that I was picked on a lot as a kid. I was bullied, and I felt like I had no power. And I was the last of 8 kids in a family that was pretty rough around the edges, and so I was bullied at home as well by my brothers and sisters. Also, my parents were divorced. I didn't have a father figure, and so I would watch movies like The Karate Kid, and I would see this kid who would be taken under the wing of this Miyagi. And not only did he have direction in his life and somebody who really cared about him, but he also was able to defeat his bullies with what he learned. And so that, to me, I would guess, played a big role into my love for martial arts. But then as I got into my teens and into my 20s, I had a very close relationship with my instructor, Sifu Chris Kent. He was like a father to me. And I think what martial arts meant to me was evolving. I didn't really deal with bullies. Everyone knew that I was big into martial arts and fighting, so they didn't tend to mess with me. And in fact, we would go to the park during lunch a lot of times, my friends and I that trained, and we would spar, and sometimes we'd have people come to test their might. And so that took the place of fighting. At that time, martial arts to me was a little bit about being cool, feeling like higher status because I could fight. And also I was in fantastic shape from all the training. I would come home from school, chow down some food, bike to class, train from the first class till the last class, help my instructor clean up the gym, and then he'd throw my bike in the back of his car and give me a ride home. And that was pretty much rinse and repeat for most of my teenage years. And then now, I run my own gym. I'm in my 40s. I have a wife and a kid, and martial arts isn't really so much about impressing anyone or being the best at anything. It's a release from stress. It's an opportunity to reset emotionally so I can be present with my family every day. I notice it too. If I take time off from training, I'm a different person. If I train, it just feels so good. I also want to be a good role model of healthy habits for my kid. I'm not great in all areas, but at least when it comes to being active, he sees that. I like being able to guide people. I like being able to give back. You know, I like that I get to surround myself with a lot of amazing people in my life, goal-oriented people who are on the same journey that I'm on or are on the same journey that I was on. It's great to rub shoulders with them. It's great to help those who are coming up in my footsteps, and it's great to follow in the footsteps of others who I admire in my life. And so those are the different things that martial arts has meant to me. I think it's important to acknowledge where you are in life and what martial arts is for you, and to allow it to evolve and change over time. Awesome, guys. Keep training. I just got to the gym. Got to get ready for my private lessons for the night. Anyway, bye.
Martial art has a very, very deep meaning as far as my life is concerned, because as an actor, as a martial artist, as a human being, all these I have learned from martial art.
By the way, on February 9th, I'm running a free 21-day Fit Warrior Challenge. This is going to dial in your workouts, your nutrition, your healthy habits. I'm also going to be going live on YouTube 3 times a week to teach a very basic beginner's intro to Jeet Kune Do. So if you want to follow those for your workouts, you can. You also don't have to. But if this is something you'd like to join me on, then all you need to do is go into the description, click the link. It'll open up a form. You can fill out your name and email. If you give me your phone number, I'm not going to spam you. I'm just going to send you reminders as I send out emails as we get closer, so you don't miss anything. I'd love to have you join us. It's absolutely free. You got nothing to lose. I got nothing to sell you. Not yet anyway. We'll see down the road. Maybe I'll have some stuff. But at least for now, I've got nothing to offer you other than my time and attention and to build this community that we are building. So thank you guys so much. All the love. Bye.